Curry Parker here with your weekly Human Design Evolution update. We are, and don't underestimate the importance of this, still kind of in the throes of a cycle of transformation. We've got a lot of energy here still working with us that's facilitating for us a great capacity and possibility of breaking patterns, getting free from what's been keeping us stuck in the past, and moving forward into a brand new way of expressing our unique contribution to the world. So it's a really fundamental and important energy this week. It's an energy that kind of marks the end of the creative cycle that we've been in and kind of the beginning of a new creative cycle starting on Friday. So a really interesting bunch of energy this week, plus a nice big, very important to pay attention to shift in the outer planets this week. So we start the week in the Gate 44. The Gate 44 is all about bringing the lessons from the past into the present. It's also part of the energy of truth and integrity. So really be attuned this week to your own inner, shall I say, BS detector. So be aware that this week you might really sense when something's off and something's not quite working the way that you thought or hoped it would, or somebody doesn't feel or smell right, something is a little off. Pay attention to that, because you are deeply attuned this week with this energy floating through to kind of be in a position to clear out the things that are not in alignment and not in integrity with who you are and what you want to be creating in the world. And of course, as part and parcel with this energy, there's also the secondary possibility that you're looking at the patterns from the past. You're looking at the things that have come before. And when this energy is in play, you're really starting to pluck truth out of your past and not get stuck in a pattern and maybe even a lie that you might be telling yourself that might have been holding you hostage to patterns in the past. This is a really great time, a really powerful energy to support you in transitioning and transforming yourself and your own belief systems and even the stories that you've been telling yourself about your past. Time to really look at what do you need to do to break free from those limitations so that you can move forward in a brand new empowered way. We have the Gate 24, the gate of rationalization, transiting in the earth. So the good part about it is you can use this energy to really rationalize the lessons that you've learned from the past and move them forward. You certainly can use these energies to rationalize any kind of powerful stance that you're going to take in your forward momentum, but be mindful that you don't recognize or see the pattern of the past, rationalize why it is the way that it is or was the way that it was, and continue to generate for yourself that pattern over and over again. That rationalization piece can work in our favor or it can work against us, and sometimes it gives us that little added oomph that forces us, or in our mind helps us rationalize putting up with, compromising, tolerating, accepting less than what we're really worth. So really be mindful this week of the rationalization piece and make sure that you're not rationalizing, staying in a place that isn't allowing you to really push past your limitations and step more fully into the brilliance and the magnificence of who you truly are. On Friday, we see the opening of the doorway to the next new cycle of our creative adventure, the next new opportunity for us to begin to bring fruit to harvest the fruit of what we've been working on all year. So on Friday, we really start working more strongly with the energy and the question, what is my contribution to the world? What am I here to do? Who am I? What is my unique offering that I can give to the world? How can I express the truth of who I am? And when the Gate 2 transits in the earth starting on Friday, we're also putting ourselves in a position where we can allow ourselves to receive and be supported in the fulfillment of that expression of our true life purpose. So really kind of a cataclysmic cleansing this week, finishing off, thinking about justifying, plucking out the rewards from all the things that have happened in the last few months. As the end of the week cycles through, we start entering into a new cycle and really looking forward into what's our next step, what's the next creative endeavor, the next adventure that we'll be launching on. Mercury moves from the Gate 50 to the 28 on Wednesday. The 50 is the gate of values. The 28, as we saw last week, is the gate of challenge. So in our communications, we are moving more from a nurturing kind of values-based conversation to really talking about our struggles and our challenges, and really beginning to, in our conversations, really share what has our journey been like with each other, and really allowing ourselves to move into a position of support and nurturing for each of us to continue to help each other achieve their dreams and to heal from all of the things that we've been going through. Venus and Mars are both in the gate 6. The gate 6 is actually a gate, it's called friction. It's not friction, it's, sometimes, I've been doing this for 15 years, and sometimes the names of the gates still escape me. So if you're one of those people that's been looking at the chart for years and going, where is that? What is that? You're not alone, okay? Anyway, the gate 6 is all about having impact. It's the energy that allows us to really break into people's auras, break into people's space, and really have impact. And when we see this in Mars and Venus, it tells us that in our relationships, we're really going to impact each other deeply. We're going to impact each other with our stories. We're going to impact each other with our experiences and the things that we've been through. It's also kind of a sexy, juicy energy, just FYI. So this is half of the channel of reproduction and mating. When this energy comes into play, I always tell people, use birth control. And be mindful that electric, zingy, attraction piece can be there. Remember that the energy for engagement and intimacy in the human design chart is emotional, which means that we are designed to become intimate when we have emotional clarity. It's never something that's supposed to be leapt into without a little bit of forethought and certainly a little bit of clarity. So that's my caveat. That being said, have fun. All right? So we see a big shift this week in Jupiter. We go in Jupiter now, we're moving into the gate 47. Now this is a really important piece we've been in the 64, which is confusion, which is actually the initiating sequence of this entire channel. We now move to the 47, which my husband laughs at me because he's like, I always tell people the 47 is one of my favorite gates. It's called oppression. And he says, how can you like an energy called oppression? Well, here's the thing. I like oppression because the energy of this gate 47 in Jupiter, and by the way, Jupiter is the planet of blessings, and see, my blessings are going off, aren't they? Jupiter is the planet of blessings and expansion. When whatever we have in Jupiter is what's bringing us our rewards. It's what's bringing us expansion in our life. Now, you might wonder, well, how can oppression be expansive? The energy of the gate of oppression, the 47, is really about this. You will be as oppressed or as liberated as you perceive yourself to be, depending on your mindset. Meaning, you can either imprison yourself or you can set yourself free based on your mindset. And as we enter into this brand new creative cycle, it's a really important, really powerful time to pay attention to what's going on in your mind. We really misunderstand what the mind is used for. When you look at the mechanics and the configuration of what we have up here in the chart, and if you think of that chart as being a blueprint, the possibility for us to get very confused and lost with what goes on in our mind is high. I was recently reading a book by Michael Singer called The Surrender Project, and then he has another book, a really great book called The Untethered Soul. And he talks about how if at any point in time what was going on in your mind was actually embodied as another human being, you would probably call the police, because what we say to ourselves, we'd never allow other people to say to ourselves. The craziness that we can spin out in our head can be really intense. And we're deeply trained to use our heads to make decisions, to use our heads to be reasonable, to be logical. And the truth is, first of all, most of us are not configured to be reasonable and logical. Only a third of us are. Secondly, it discounts all the other ways in which we know. And when we're using our head as our decision-making tool, we're missing the point. We're missing the purpose of the mind of consciousness. Your mind is designed to experience through imagination and the investigation and the entertainment of possibilities It is designed to trigger an emotional vibration, and an emotional vibration that ultimately attracts to you the things that are in alignment with that emotional vibration. Your mind is here to set the tone for what you create. Your mind is here to set you up vibrationally to allow for yourself to receive all the support, all the opportunities, all the delicious, amazing things that you can have in your life when your mind is in the right place. So don't get all caught up in here about visualizing and thinking, and don't get lost in the question how, which is the big pitfall of the Gate 47. The Gate 47 gets a big idea and then it wants to immediately know how. Well, the how shows up, but it shows up in your outer reality. It unrolls itself in front of you, and you don't have to figure it out. But if you try to figure it out, you'll drive yourself nutso. So really important as we enter into this cycle with this Jupiter and the 47, that you really be conscious of what's going on in your head, that you really establish some kind of a process or practice. I like meditation, but whatever works for you, some kind of a way of stilling your mind and really being mindful of the thoughts that you're thinking, and really get strict with what are you putting in, what are you entertaining, what are you giving energy to inside that head of yours. And give yourself the gift of shifting your perspective into a much more expansive, open, beautiful, abundant place. Don't imprison yourself in your mind, and consequently in a reality that isn't justifiably as beautiful as you are. You deserve to have a life that's a reflection of who you are and what you're here to do. Your mindset will help you create that, or your mindset will take you away from that, but you don't deserve that, so don't do it. Okay? So mindset diet for the next couple of months. The rest of the outer planets are doing their same thing they've been doing. They're teaching us that our greatest power comes when we surrender to something greater than ourselves, when we trust the infinite abundance of the universe and allow that abundance to unfold in our lives in accordance with our mindset. And when we trust that we are here to be supported and guided by Source, and that when we listen to our own inner guidance, and when we listen to the guidance that is being given to us by the universe, when we are still and we are trusting that everything is unfolding exactly the way that it needs to, and that all we have to do is follow the clues, follow the cues that the universe puts in front of us, go in the direction that feels correct and good and right, everything will click into place, and you will be exactly where you need to be to create exactly what you're here to create. So be good to yourself this week. Finish up tweaking, thinking, evaluating, triaging, debriefing from the last couple of months. Get ready for a brand new creative cycle and a deepening of this transformation process that we've been in. Thank you, and have a great week.